Welcome to Respawn and Fire, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast where four lifelong friends in this case, gather to talk about video games. I'm Holden. That's Chad.
Michael Innes.
That's right. I'm Holden, the party. You're Chad, Michael Innes.
Yeah.
And we have Dan Root with us today as well.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Welcome, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
And you're you, and that's why we love you. We're going to start off with instruction manual for SonyPony. I'm going to use SonyPony now. Because that's your...
that works for me.
It's your Twitter
Watch out, Greg Miller. I'm
so
coming for the job.
And actually, Chad has a few interview questions for you. And some 10 gaming word associations that I don't have. Only Chad has those.
That's right.
I could try to guess what they are, but I think I'll be wrong.
Yep, absolutely. So welcome, Dan. We've been trying to get you on the show for 94 years. 84 years, just like Rose and Titanic. So thank you for coming to the show. We finally had a shit ton of Sony news, and we're like, we know who to call. Ghostbusters. And then the Ghostbusters were like, you guys want Dan instead. You're like, you're right. Let's call him.
I love it.
So I want to introduce the world of Respawn Aim Fire's listeners to you, and we'll do that through our segment called Read the SonyPony Instruction Manual. I have a few interview questions. I've prepped you on a couple. I've learned that now from the past 2 or 3 of these that we've done. I've prepped you on a couple. There are a couple that you don't know of yet, and then we're going to do word association.
Ooh.
3 interview questions. Number 1, without mentioning video games, describe yourself.
Let's see. I'm a hard worker, and I love people, and I love to make everyone happy. Describing myself? Yeah,
That's
kind of a little bit.
Perfect.
I try anyways.
Dope. Question number 2. Interview question number 2. Tell us about your history with Sony and when you realized you identified as a pony.
Oh, this is... I'm so glad you asked this because I got a perfect story. On my golden birthday, I was 10 years old, and my grandma said...
sorry.
Sorry?
Is that a thing? Golden birthday?
Yeah.
Is that a common thing?
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
No.
Really? Okay, so your golden birthday is the day you were born. So if you were born on the 10th, your golden birthday would be when you're 10 years old. Which really sucks for people who are born on leap year. But but yeah, no, it's maybe it's just a Minnesota thing. That's kind of what I'm figuring out. It's a Minnesota thing. But
okay.
Oh, I get it. There are some weird Rhode Island things for me that we've talked about.
Like hot dish.
Before. I
Coffee
get it.
milk.
Everyone says hot dish here. And,
Oh yeah, hot dish instead of casserole.
they're like, what's a hot dish? You're stupid.
Oofta.
But on my golden birthday, my grandma took me to Toys R Us and said, it's your golden birthday. I bought you a TV. Pick out any system that you want. Anything. System, games, just go ham. And that was right around the time the N64 was already out. And the PS1 was already out. I think the PS2 might have been just around the corner. But they didn't have any PlayStation 1s. They didn't have them anywhere. And I'm like, oh man, that's what I want. I kind of have a feeling. So I ended up getting a Nintendo 64 and I got Hey You Pikachu. And I fucking hated it. I had no fun. I couldn't get the mic to work. I couldn't get nothing to work. So I went over to my cousin's house that night and he had a PS1. He was playing Twisted Metal. And I'm just thinking to myself, why does he get this and not me? I just couldn't figure it out. Well, my dad, seeing how upset I was that I had a Nintendo 64. So when I was at my cousin's house, he went all the way to St. Cloud, Minnesota, which at the time was like a 2-hour drive, and got me a PS1. He got me Twisted Metal, he got me Parasite Eve, and Final Fantasy VII. So then...
The essentials. Yeah, absolutely, the essentials.
Yep, exactly. So that weekend, I got home, it was there, it was all just right there. Nintendo 64 was gone.
Get that shit
It was
out
I
of
like
gone.
to imagine you didn't return it or sell it. You just threw it in the trash.
I honestly don't know what
It was
happened
like
to
Office Space.
it. I don't...
It's like Office Space. They all went out with the bats.
Yeah.
And just beat it
I have
in the
no
field.
idea what happened to it. Never seen it again. The only thing I have of that Nintendo is the microphone for Hey You Pikachu. That's all I got. But that does nothing for me, so it's just kind of like a little keepsake. But anyways, so I played all weekend, and then just it was all downhill from there. Or uphill, you could say. But that's just...
I've always been confused by that.
Uphill, downhill, yeah.
Uphill. You're going up, like something good is at the end of it, but then also that's the hard part of the hill. It's like I don't understand it.
Exactly. But no, that's how that all started, and then just ever since, I've always just been a Sony fan ever since. Every console, every mishap, every mistake, good thing, just have always been there. Loyalty. That's
awesome.
The way I look at it. You're loyal to your friends and your girlfriend and all that stuff, so you gotta be loyal to your gaming system.
We have a similar story actually, but we went and it kind of ended a little bit differently. 2001, I really wanted a PS2 for Christmas. That was what I wanted. Final Fantasy X looked super cool. That's the game that kind of appealed to me, and I ended up getting a GameCube and Metroid Prime for Christmas.
Oh, nice!
Threw it in the trash.
And I threw it in the trash. No, but I ended up just sticking with it, and now I'm a Nintendo person for that reason. So semi-similar stories.
No, that's
crazy because I got an OG Xbox, and now it's still sitting in the closet, and I never got a 360. And...
the best paperweight you ever had.
Yep. That's crazy awesome. I want to point out one other thing. I realized you had your PlayStation ID in your Twitter bio. I was like, oh, why are we not PlayStation friends yet? And then I went in there and friended you and realized you have 63 trillion trophies.
Oh, yeah.
How do you get paid to play PlayStation games all day? That's insane.
Well, honestly, I have a wonderful girlfriend who is just as passionate about gaming as I am, and she's a huge Nintendo fan, so we relate on that, and she knows how much.
It's the right way to be,
right? Oh, I got her a Switch for her birthday, and she loves it. She won't put the damn thing down. So I guess I know how she feels when I don't put my controller down. So it's an even trade. But no, she's so awesome. She's so helpful. I mean, she's got a PS4. She's even helped me set up our system so I can boost online trophies to get the trophies I need, so I don't even have to deal with random people. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
And it's just she's just really cool about it. And I've been doing it for 10 years, ever since PS3 when they introduced trophies. I believe it was Uncharted Drake's Fortune. I believe. But it's been ever since.
You have 255 platinum trophies. I am so jealous of you.
Yeah, but
I thought I have 39, I think. I was like, yeah, 39 trophies. Fuck yeah.
But you're working on that Beat Saber, and if you get that platinum, I will probably be...
Oh, I've got the Beat Saber plat.
Oh, well, you're already better than I am then. No, it's super fun. It's addicting. The ding of the trophy, you get your money's worth out of it. That's the way I look at it. You touch every part of the game for most games, but it is what it is.
That's awesome. This doesn't technically count as an interview question, but what is your favorite platinum trophy that you've gotten? Whether it's one you're most proud of or the most fun or something like that.
Oh man, the most fun, honestly, was probably the Guitar Hero ones. No, I lied. Demon Souls.
Ooh,
Demon
Souls.
Yep. I went as far as getting the Japanese version and the European version to get those platinums. So I have 3 of them. Yeah. It was From Software. There's just something about the challenge of the game that I really enjoyed. The combat, invading someone's world and just ruining their day. Come on.
Wait a minute, you just said you just want people to be nice to people and be good and all that kind of stuff, and you're like, can't wait to fuck up someone's
But in
day.
Dark Souls, that is being nice to someone.
It is, really. But yeah, you got me there. You got me there. No, but it's...
Did you beat Sekiro? Did you get the platinum in Sekiro?
I haven't done Sekiro yet. Not yet. I've watched one of my buddies play it, and I'm terrified. I know that sounds...
That game was so hard for me.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird to say.
Yeah, you stopped playing it because it's too hard.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll play it eventually. Hopefully one day.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's really great, but it is very, very hard. I haven't beaten it yet either.
It's just such
I
a
hope
different
to beat it by the
style.
end of the year. It's very different, yeah.
Dark Souls 2 for me was the one that really was challenging. I just, for some reason, could not get the hang of it to save my life. And I stopped playing for 2 months. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a little break. And I came back to it, and my buddy joined, and then we fucked it up. So
Nice. Nice.
So it worked out in the end. Kind of.
I have 2 more questions for you. I know I said 3, but technically this one has to be asked. Question number 2.5. You remember Anthem?
Yeah, I remember Anthem. What's left of it, anyways.
Remember how that game came out this year?
Man,
That's crazy.
right? Wow, that was this year.
Yeah. That was literally like 8 months ago. And it was supposed to be like one of the biggest releases ever.
It was covered up. I bought the game because of the cool-ass Steelbook, so I'm just going to throw that out there. I liked the Steelbook. Yep. The Steelbook was cool, so I'm like, I'll buy it. Why not?
Man, that's one thing that I do miss about physical games. I still buy Steelbooks for all of my 4K Blu-rays, but I do miss a nice Steelbook box art.
Yeah, no, the Sekiro ones are super cool if you haven't seen them. They're awesome.
I don't think I have.
Oh, yeah.
Looking it up right now. RN, as the kids say.
They're super cool. The one with the collector's edition is awesome, but the one from Amazon, the pre-order bonus from Amazon is the better of the two, in my opinion.
Oh, shit, that's dope.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
One of them's blue, and then one of them it's like the white fog with the red leaves on it.
It just makes me excited for Ghost of Tsushima. That's what it does.
Oh, God, that game is going to be so freaking good.
I know. I cannot
You think
wait.
it's gonna be this is completely off
Will
topic,
it?
but you think that's going to be a PS5 launch title?
I think if they were smart, it would be. They have The Last of Us in February, so I mean there
Yeah.
isn't too many months in between the release of The Last of Us and PS5. So
I saw a tweet last week
but-
that Shuhei Yoshida was like, I had to literally put the controller down while playing Ghost of Tsushima because it was too beautiful and I couldn't go on.
I seen that too. Yep.
I was like, gosh.
It just
Yeah,
blows
if
my
that's a
mind.
PS5 launch title, I think that's why they haven't said almost anything about it in a long time, is just because they're like, let's polish this baby up and make it look amazing, and then we'll just launch it.
That's what's going to happen.
To be fair, though, Last of Us, the original one, came out in May, like literally a few months before PS3 or PS4 came out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, but your mom. Question number 3.
Touche.
Tell me about someone who truly inspires you.
Truly inspires me. Definitely my dad. He's a hard worker. He's taught me pretty much everything I know growing up on how to be a man and how to be a good father and just how to be a genuinely decent person. We have differing opinions about a lot of stuff, video games being one of them, but he's done a lot for me in my life, and I don't think I'd be who I am today without him.
That's awesome.
He's
When you say differing opinions, like, do you guys like different games, or does he just differ about his opinion about video games in general?
he hates video games.
Oh, really?
Oh, he hates them.
So you strongly disagree.
Yep. I got a shirt that I wore to my kid's birthday that said, I paused my game to be here just to fuck with him. Just because that's just, why not? I'm going to throw it back at him a little bit. But
That's awesome.
yeah, no, he's a good guy. He's definitely helped me out a lot. So I appreciate that.
Dope. Love that. All right, I've got 10 word associations for you. Word association, for anyone who doesn't know, it's just I say a word and then you tell me the very first thing that pops into your head. Most of them are PlayStation centric because obviously. So we'll just go through this list. Number 1, memory card.
Memory card. Losing it.
Oh no, that would always that's your whole life. You just lost your whole life there.
Yeah.
Number 2, Wonderbook.
Night.
Number 3, Thumbstick.
Thumbstick. I don't even know if I know what that is.
It's the
joystick.
Oh,
Joystick.
joystick. Okay. Yeah. First thing I think of, a binky.
A binky. That's awesome.
I don't know.
It does kind of look like a bacon. I've never thought of that before.
Number 4, beep. That's my impression of the PS4 turning on noise.
That makes me. That's my alarm clock.
You're making this impossible, Chad.
That's your alarm clock?
Yes.
That's awesome.
It's
number
bad,
5.
man.
Is it like a sound that you have that you downloaded to your phone, or do you have your PS4 program to come on at a certain time?
No, it's just I downloaded an app and all my ringtones and stuff like that are PlayStation something.
That's so cool. I wish I loved anything as much as you love PlayStation.
It's bad, man. You should see me in public. I think I embarrass people.
I love it. Number 5, cross-media bar.
PlayStation 3 for sure.
Yep. Number 6, dynamic themes.
Dynamic themes. Yeah, I got wallpapers. Yeah.
This is another good one. Beep. That's the PS3 turning on noise.
I mean, it could be when it shuts down too. That's scary.
There you go.
I've had that
scary.
happen one too many times.
Yeah, especially when it was the capacitive one where you just have to like rest your finger on it rather than the actual button you press.
Oh, yep. Whew. Oh man, scary.
Number, what is it? 8? Pterodactyls.
Rock.
Nice. Green.
Failure.
Aw.
Too soon?
It's because it's the Xbox color.
Yep. And then finally, beep. That one was me censoring a slur meant to marginalize a protected class of people who prefer to play on PC. Comedy in 3, you guys.
I'm dying.
Comedy in 3.
I'm dying. Oh, I love this.
Oh, man. That's it. That's our read the instruction manual for SonyPony. Let's actually get into some stuff and talk about things and stuff.
Yeah, let's jump into our third-party quest log. We're going to talk about Oculus for the quest log this time because they announced some pretty cool stuff. We're going to list off the 3 things that were announced, and then we'll talk about them one by one. So they had announced hand tracking for the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Rift S, so you can track your little fingers, little phalanges now.
Does that just mean that Facebook knows where your hands are at all times?
At all times.
Hey, get out of your pants.
You can also now plug in, he's coming up in the November, you can plug in your Oculus Quest with a USB-C cable to your PC and play Rift games that way, which is, like, of course, about time. That's awesome. There's also going to be augmented reality glasses that are going to be showing off at some point in the future, and then Respawn unveiled that they're making a Medal of Honor game for Oculus, which looks really good, actually.
I just can't get past the fact that, like, one day mom will get a notification from Facebook on her phone. It's like, hey, your son's hands are in his girl's pants.
Because you're going to wear an Oculus Quest while doing anything like that.
That's the future.
Wait one second, before we get started, let me do this in VR.
Oh my god.
But then I want the pass-through mode so I can still see what I'm doing to you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I guess, what do you guys think of the hand tracking? Let's start with that, besides our kind of mocking it.
Hand tracking is going to be super cool. There are a couple of reasons why I think this is going to be cool. One, obviously being able to have like the dexterity of each of your fingers. Maybe that will lead to being able to like type things or like point to things. And hopefully that leads to developers actually like taking on this technology and implementing it into their games. Because right now it's cool, but you can't use that with anything because developers don't know what to do with those fingers in their game yet.
That's exactly my concern. I saw this and I'm like, this is really, really cool. Also reminds me of 3D Touch on iPhones. Which
oh god, I miss
saw
it
that
so much.
panned out. Because I love 3D Touch. I think it's a great feature, but
Yep.
developers did nothing with it, so it dropped it.
I got my 11
Apple
Pro
dropped
and
it,
it
and I
doesn't
don't
have
blame
3D
Apple for
Touch,
dropping it.
and now I'm just like almost breaking the screen all the time because I'm like, fuck, it doesn't exist again.
No, it's super crazy all the different stuff they're implementing in Oculus. I've never had a chance to go hands on with it, but I mean, if this is the direction that things are going, it's going to be really cool to see what happens over the course of the next 10 years. It was just VR in general.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, what are we going to be playing in 10 years in VR? It's just with all this stuff. It's just crazy. It blows my mind. Literally blows
It's
my
insane.
mind.
What impresses me too is that last May they had like a big reveal of here's some prototype stuff we're working on. They showed the eye tracking, all that, and finger tracking was one of them. And I'm like, of all the things they showed off, that's the one that's least likely to happen anytime soon. And of all the things they showed off, it was the first to come out.
Yep.
So that was actually kind of surprising. And that also makes me excited for the future of like, if that's what they figured out first, what crazy shenanigans are we going to get into with VR?
There are a couple things to be said about it. One, they did mention that controllers are still the best way to play. And after this comes out, like there will be more input lag for finger tracking. But then I sent this article to my sister, who recently bought an Oculus Quest and is obsessed with it. And she was excited because she's like, finally, I don't have to hold the controllers while I play anymore. And I can hold weight. She does this boxing thing. And she's like, finally, I can hold weights while I box to actually make it feel more weight.
Interesting.
It's like,
right,
you can hold things and still play the games. That's kind of cool.
You could like hold like a milkshake or something and drink a milkshake while playing the game. It'd be amazing.
Hold
but you have
my
to drink
beer.
it through a fucking paper straw. I hate paper straws.
And I think actually what's the biggest announcement of at least the hand tracking and the Oculus Rift support is the Oculus Rift support. Who in their right mind would buy a Rift S at this point? They both cost $400. So
because you've talked all the time about like how the Quest has better build quality and stuff like that than the Rift S does.
Yeah. So in interest of transparency, I do work for Oculus in a capacity for like as like a vendor basically, and two things that the Quest has an advantage over the Rift S. One, the resolution's higher on the Quest, is a higher resolution screen. And it has the ability to adjust the lenses back and forth.
Oh, wow.
Whereas the Rift is set in stone. And I'm like, those are two things where it's like, why would you even bother to get a Rift S at that point?
And they're the same price.
The Rift S, they're the same price. The only advantage that the Rift S has over the Quest that I can think of is that it has clearer optics. I don't think anyone's going to care about that. And that it has a higher refresh rate. But everyone, and I've seen it hands-on, just says it's not noticeable. It's not really an issue. So it's just like, why did they bother making the Rift S at all? I feel like they could have just dropped it. I don't know.
Put the resources somewhere else.
Exactly. Maybe they're going to again, this is where I don't know. Legitimately don't know. Maybe they're going to make a Rift 2 somewhat soon that's going to have like the eye tracking, all that stuff, like all that kind of advanced stuff they couldn't put in a Quest maybe. But even then, I feel like people would still go for the Quest.
Dang. Yeah.
The one thing that concerns me, I don't know how true this is. I'm looking it up on Amazon right now just to find out. You have to connect it to a USB-C cable to your computer. Yeah. The longest USB-C cable that I've ever been able to find is like 6 feet. They don't come longer than that. Because I remember helping a customer once at the store, like, I just need something long. I need a 10-foot cable. And we looked everywhere. That was like a year and a half ago. I was like, they don't exist. So if you're able to now connect to your computer via USB-C cable, you're going to be kind of tethered. I mean, obviously actually tethered, but then also super tethered by the length.
Mm-hmm. They do have like their own premium cable coming out at the end of the year. I'd imagine that would be at least 12 feet because that's what the Rift S cable is to the PC. It'd be hilarious though if it was like a standard 3 meter cable.
Okay,
or
just in looking on Amazon, yeah, they exist up to like 20 feet and things like that nowadays.
Okay, cool. Also, you get extension cables as well, so I'm sure that wouldn't be.
Isn't one of those two wireless at all? One of them is.
The Quest is wireless.
Okay, that's one.
So that can be played standalone. You don't need anything else. The Rift S requires a PC to function.
Yep. But you have higher quality experiences on the Rift S because you have the PC and the power of the PC to drive that all, which is now your Oculus Quest, which can be your mobile thing, is also a screen for your computer, which is really dope.
Nice.
Yeah. Then they talked about augmented reality glasses. They didn't really say too much about when that's coming, but basically the idea is just that you walk around, it'll overlay contextual information over the real world. So, like, you look at the billboard of the movies, and it'll actually show you the show times for each movie, something like that.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Can I tell you, I got to use the HoloLens at a thing back in June, and it's all just so fucking cool. This augmented reality stuff is going to be so fucking cool when it all finally becomes mainstream.
Mm-hmm. How long do you think it'll take?
Yeah. When we, like, in the form of glasses and things like this, I think we're maybe 3 years away before we start to see, like, a big product that people start buying.
So exciting. That is so very exciting. Mm-hmm. Video games are cool, man. Video games are cool.
Right? Oh, man, sorry. While it's fresh on the brain, speaking of video games are cool, I follow this company a filmmaking company on Instagram, And today they were showing off how they use Unity to create sets and things like that for their movies. And so they were just like, all right, here's a guy sitting on a motorcycle and he's out in the middle of the desert. And then they're like, wait a minute, I want it to be about 3 hours later than it is. So they're like, cool, let me just swap out the sky. And like, oh, fuck. He's literally just in front of a big LED wall, and they're using a game engine to render everything all around him. And and then they're like, all right, and then we're going to move our key light, and they just have a giant orb on the screen. They're rotating around, making it brighter. So that I was like, holy shit. No more do you have to like green screen and make things. You can just literally just have a giant LED wall and make it look like that in the shot. Not practically, but God, gaming is so cool. Video games plus movies equals sex for my eyes.
Ooh, video game movies, he said, though. Come on, that's kind of a different subject, though. But maybe one day we'll get lucky with one good video game movie.
Tomb Raider 2.
Oh yeah, there's that, and then there's the Uncharted movie, hopefully soon.
Okay, guys, Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah, Detective Pikachu.
Let's not forget that. That was
or as they abbreviate it, DP. What's that good DP movie? Oh yeah, that really good DP movie with the rat in it. It was really furry.
Sounds like something my grandma would say.
No.
Oh God, I hope not. Let's move on. Oh God.
So then Respawn Entertainment, not Respawn Empire, is making a Medal of Honor game. They're bringing back Medal of Honor, and it's going to be in VR. Have you guys seen the gameplay for it?
Yes.
No, I didn't know there was a thing released.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty cool. You can do things like when an enemy throws a grenade, you can catch it in midair and throw it back at them. You actually have to like pull the pin on a grenade to like just throw it.
Yeah.
But if you hold it up to your mouth, it'll actually like take it out with your mouth, and then you can throw it. Like there's all these like little cool like little tidbits they seem to have added in to make it a very realistic experience, and it just looks kind of cool. I wish I had a gaming PC and Oculus, I guess Oculus Quest to play it.
Oh yeah,
I guess all of this is you need a PC as a barrier to entry.
Yep.
It definitely looks like something I would be interested in. I remember watching the trailer, and I'm just like, at first I didn't know what it was because YouTube was just on shuffle or whatever, and I'm like, what is this? I checked Medal of Honor. I'm like, a new Medal of Honor? Really? VR even? Okay. I'm listening. I'm watching. It looks awesome though.
Yeah, and it's not an on rails thing. It's like first person shooter. Walk around, duck for cover. It's the full experience.
Didn't he throw a pan at someone at one point in the trailer?
Yeah, you can pick up things and just throw them at people, so I don't see why not.
He threw a
That's
pan.
my favorite thing to
awesome.
do in VR. I just
Throw
love
pans.
picking shit up and throwing it.
Specifically pans, though.
Yeah.
No,
I'm watching the trailer. This looks great.
It really does.
I'm
So
excited
far-
for VR to give like second life to things. Like Medal of Honor, it's a dead franchise. But this, like seeing Medal of Honor in VR from Respawn,
Exactly.
that makes me
Especially
incredibly interested in it.
No, it definitely does.
when we played Titanfall 2, that immediately made me go, oh, Respawn is... If I see Respawn's name on something, it's like the stamp of approval. It's like, gotta be good.
Approved.
So
when is that supposed to come out anyway?
Next year.
Next year? Okay.
Yeah.
God, do I want a gaming PC? No, I don't. I would only use it for Oculus.
All right. Do you guys ready to go to playtime?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready as F.
All right. So, actually, Dan, let's start with
Mine's
you.
a lot of boring shit. So yeah, let's go with Dan.
What am I playing? Oh man, I'm playing a co-op game called Earthfall right now. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's like
I have not.
No.
it's a 4-player drop,
Heard of Greedfall.
kind of drop in, drop out, but it's not good by any means. But it's fun to play with friends, and that's the main reason why I'm playing it. It's basic.
That's how I feel about Borderlands 2. I hate that game, but it's fun to play with.
Yep, no, that's the only reason why I'm bearing through it. The controls are clunky. It feels heavy. I have the sensitivity all the way turned up, and it still feels like I just can't turn. And it's.
I feel like you're still describing Borderlands 2.
But if it wasn't for friends, then I definitely would not be playing it. Let's see. I'm playing Final Fantasy 9 as well. I had to go back.
Oh.
I played 7, I played 8, and then I had to go back and play
And
9.
you're playing the remaster with the trophies, of course.
Yep, and just hating myself trying to get 1,000 jump ropes. So dumb.
I haven't played it. That's like on my list of shame that I eventually want to do as a barf game.
9? Oh,
But-
yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite of all of them. It's out of all the Final Fantasy games, it's my number one. Other than that, I
Am
think
I going to play that instead of Dragon Quest?
No, we
Damn
got like
it.
Dragon Quest.
But yeah, Earthfall and Final Fantasy 9, those are the two that I'm playing right now. I'm trying to make room for Borderlands 3, but it's just not happening. So
It's okay. You're not missing anything.
You're
Said
missing
me who's
so
not played
much.
Oh no.
Holden's just a trash monster.
I'm a terrible person.
Just
I actually told Holden last night, I'm so jealous of your distaste in games because I have so many things to play, and you just hate everything good. So now you don't have overwhelming dread.
This is true. He did tell this to me.
oh my god.
I'm very picky. Okay?
Holden's like, I think October's going to be good
if
because I
it
don't need to
does-
play anything until Luigi's Mansion in 95 days. And I'm like, I have 3 things I should be playing right now, but instead I'm playing Grindstone.
basically, if it doesn't start with The Legend of, I won't play it.
Oh wow.
Gross.
I'm
That brings
The
your list
Legend of
down quite a
Korra.
bit.
What was that, Dan?
It brings your list down quite a bit then, doesn't it?
There's a lot of Zelda games.
That's
How's
true.
Legend of Dragoon?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I haven't played that
Yes.
Oh my god, you have such a small selection and you haven't played through all of them?
I'm hoping for a
No, I'll
remaster
name-
for that one.
Me too, that'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
one. To be fair, 75% of the games I played this week did not start with The Legend of. So I'm changing. I'm growing as a person.
Proud of you.
Expanding my palate.
You're eating salad for the first time wrapped in a piece of cheese, but you're still eating it.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I really am.
Oh, that's a callback to the pre-show that we didn't record for any of you guys to listen to, so hope you thought it was so funny the second time.
No, that's about it. Final Fantasy IX and Earthfall. I don't get time to play any new games. I still haven't even played Red Dead 2.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
That's what
I listened to
No,
a spoiler cast of it, and everything you need to know is in that spoiler cast.
I am only like halfway through Red Dead 2. I've not touched it this year, and I feel awful about it because I really like that game, and I just haven't had time to play it either.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still sealed. Actually, I don't
Oh,
even think I've
wow.
opened it yet.
La da 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 da. That's Seal, the artist
So-
Seal.
Chad,
Yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts of Mario Kart Tour. Since we both played
Oh,
it.
what a trash pile! This game
Okay,
sucks.
it's so bad.
This game
I
fucking
played
sucks.
one round, and I'm like, this is the worst fucking mobile game I think I've ever played.
It's so bad for so many reasons. Let's start with the fact that it looks like a Mario Kart game. Like, it looks like you're playing Mario
Yeah.
Kart on your phone. Great. Everything else about it, you're not playing Mario Kart on your phone. You are furiously trying to figure out how to steer without
Yes,
shooting yourself in the
that's
head.
Oh, it's awful. So many times to be like, turn this way. No, don't go that way. Don't go that way. God damn it, Bowser passed me. that's the experience of playing that game.
I think
And
part
you
of it
have
is
to start playing as either Toad or Peach. You can't play as anyone else besides Toad or Peach initially. Why?
that's not true. I was listening to Tim Geddes and his impression. He got Toadette. So
oh, I got Toad and Peach, and I'm like, that's
my first two
not
that I
who
got
wanna
was
play.
Toad, and then I unlocked Peach with the little tunnel thing.
Oh, okay.
There are 3 ways to control this game. There's you swipe to turn, or you could do swipe to drift, in which case you don't get the ability to turn. You only drift all the time. And then there's motion control to turn and swipe to drift. I didn't try the first one because they basically right off the bat they tell you, hey, if you're a baby and you want baby controls, you can swipe. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not a baby. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't want baby controls. And like, most people are going to do the drifting. I was like, fuck yeah. I'm not going to look like a baby in front of all these other men playing this game. I'm going to drift. And then I struggled through 3 races and I was like, this fucking sucks. I must be doing something wrong. So I went to the controls and I saw that they had the motion. I was like, okay, maybe I'll do motion. And then I'll kind of like we mentioned in our NieR Automata thing today. It was like I felt like I was playing it wrong. I was like, there has to be. I'm missing something. And then I did the motion. It was like turning to steer. That fucking sucks. And then I could still drift. I was like, the whole thing is just you trying not to kill yourself while steering through a course.
Yeah, I literally don't know any other flaws in the game besides the controls being horrendously bad, because I saw the controls were horrendously bad and said, nope, not playing this piece of shit anymore,
No.
and just cut it off. And the thing that's really upsetting is that this is a Nintendo game, and Nintendo is known for really solid controls. Like,
Right?
how did they fuck it up like this?
And they're always shouting like, hey, we're not going to put Mario on other platforms because we want to make sure that it controls perfectly with our hardware.
Yeah.
And like, you created something and it controls like a trash pile. I love the word trash today, apparently.
Yeah,
But then there
really
are
disappointed.
There are a couple of things I like. I do like
Really?
I do
Is there
like
something
the
you like
idea
about it?
that each character has their own like specific power up. Like it's not that you get Bowser, then you automatically get the giant shell, or you get Toad, you automatically get 3 mushrooms. It's something you could get from an item block. So there's a bit of chance in there, but I do think that's kind of cool. Like you're not just choosing your character based on who you like or who has the best stats, but also do you like the power up that they have?
Yeah, I think the ultimate flaw though with this game. Sorry, you do your thing, and I'll say my ultimate flaw after. Sorry.
Yep, that's it. That's the end of the things I like.
Oh, okay.
A really short list.
Yeah.
Number 1, and that's it.
Yep.
So the real big flaw with this game is that mobile Mario Kart already exists in the form of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch.
Yep.
If I wanted to play Mario Kart on the go, that's the one I'm going to go to, and it's a real Mario Kart game.
You know what
This
else
game
sucks
had no
about it?
reason to be.
Sorry, let's just shit on Mario Kart today. Today we're just gonna shit all over
shit
Mario
all
Kart
over
Tour
it.
today. You know what else sucks is that I think it was terrible timing. It came out a week after Apple Arcade,
Yep.
and you go in and like you can try the premium Mario Kart mode for 2 weeks, and then it's $5 a month to be able to. I don't even know what the fuck it does. I didn't even bother looking at it. So like, nope, I'm not paying that.
And that's for the mobile one, correct?
That's for the mobile one. Yeah,
Oh,
$5 a
geez.
month. And then I'm thinking, well, I'm already paying $5 a month for over 100 amazing games that I can't even get through. There's no way I'm going to pay $5 for this shitty version of Mario Kart.
Not only that, but how much does Nintendo Switch Online cost per month?
Right? Like 33 cents or something.
It just Mario Kart's just a huge ripoff, no matter how you look at it. It's just I don't know who this game. Did they think this was going to be a success? I'm just very baffled.
I
I'm
don't
very
know.
baffled.
Is the game free to play? Like, is the initial download free, or do you have to actually buy it?
They call it free to start. And in their defense, I did not feel... I went through maybe 5 or 6 races, and you can unlock... Like, you get gems for winning races, or however the fuck you earn gems. But you get gems, and then you can, like, pull down on a little chute, and it shoots up. You either get a cart, or a hang glider, or a character. So you, like, unlock people with those gems. So you can buy more gems to unlock more people, and more carts, and more items. But I didn't feel like I was pressured to at all.
Right. That sounds very
But,
difficult if you can't even finish a race.
Yeah. I just like I've mentally already flipped the switch that like, oh, if it's not already in Apple Arcade and it's
Right.
asking me for money on a monthly basis, I'm out. Or if it's asking me for money at all, I'm out. It's like, Apple Arcade was such a good value.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, if you can just play it on the Switch, why wouldn't you just play it there? Obviously, that's just the better place to
Yeah.
play it.
Exactly.
So you just save your time, save your money, maybe invest in a Switch. You're good to go.
That Switch Lite. That Switch
not a
Lite.
maybe. Switch is a must-have console.
Switch Lite.
And I'm not biased. I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. That's not who I am.
We all know all the things Holden would watch or play on Switch if they came to it. We won't say kitty porn again. But it's there. If it's on Switch, Holden's playing it.
Oh man, they have everything on Switch. I don't even know.
They
Everything
do.
is on there. Even random games that I've just never even heard of. They're just random, like, hey, how are you? The game on there.
And you just go, I'm good, how are you?
Exactly. It's good for indie devs. So I give them props for that. There's a platform for all these games, and honestly, that's really cool. So
Yeah.
I just move that right
So
there.
speaking of Apple Arcade, you've been playing Grindstone. You didn't
Oh,
just
God.
play Grindstone. You begged me to play it too.
I didn't
So I played a
beg
little
you.
bit
I
too.
said,
You did.
hey, you should
You
play this.
begged
It'll
me.
be your new go-to
Over text
mobile game.
message, you got in your hands and knees, your like hands together, like you're praying, like, please, Holden, play this game.
Okay, you get on your knees and get on your hands and knees is different. Get on
I
your
don't know
knees,
why
you
it said
can
hands
beg.
and knees.
If it's hands and knees,
Because I knew it was going to do the
that's-
hands afterwards, and just combined it together, and it was a big mistake.
Hands and knees
just like
is
playing
DP.
Grindstone was a big mistake for me.
Is DP, Detective Pikachu. That's hands and knees. No, Grindstone, I am addicted. Greg Miller has been tweeting and talking on Gamescast and all these things about Grindstone. He's like, yeah, blah, blah, I love Apple Arcade, but I've only played Grindstone, and that's it, and I just can't stop playing it. I was like, fuck it. I mean, it looks stupid. I go on the thing, I see the screenshots, and it looks like a Bejeweled type game where you're just matching different colors of gems. But, God, it's so much more than that. We have different colors of aliens instead of gems. Huh? Yeah? Does that do it for you?
Revolutionary.
No, but you're going through these levels, and not only do you have to like match them up to get a certain number to get out the door, but then there's also you can go up to however many you can chain together. But then there's also enemies that are on there as well that like you have to chain together 10 before you can defeat this enemy, and they have to go into it. And then there's also every single level has a treasure chest and a king and some objective as well. But it's so brilliant how it makes you think like puzzle-wise, and every level is set up with different barriers and blocks and different enemies and different configurations that it's just like it's endlessly so addicting and fun. If I'm pooping, I'm playing Grindstone. If
It looks really cool.
I'm
looking at it right now. It looks really cool.
Oh, it's so good. And then there's different abilities and power-ups you can get and craft. And so like you can have one that's like, all right, a one-time use per battle, you can shoot an enemy and make it disappear, or you can enemies can also, like the regular colored ones, enemies of color. Sorry, that was a really distasteful joke. That like they can also attack you if they're like enraged in a certain time. So you can like, I'm going to block every single hit that comes at me for one turn, or I'm going to destroy everything in one line. It's just so deep and complex, and there are boss battles that are really cool and imaginative that are that's really interesting and hard to do. And I can't stop, Holden. I need help. I'm on level 45. Each level also only takes like 4 to 7 minutes as well, which is really, really good because it's that addictive nature. It's so brilliant.
It's short but sweet.
The other day, yeah. I've found myself like the other day, Borderlands 3 kicked me out of the game, and just like the whole thing crashed. I was like, cool. While I'm waiting for it to boot back up, I'll play a level of Grindstone, and I played Grindstone for 30 minutes instead. And if you know that took me away from Borderlands 3, you know I've got a problem.
So I played it too. I first of all was just not a fan of Bejeweled style games.
Me neither. I hate
interesting. And I definitely will hand it to Grindstone that it is not like those games. It uses the mechanic of those games for something else that's unique, but it still, I just felt like it was too much like I'm just combining colors to like have I didn't find it that fun. But that's just me. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah,
I'm downloading it right now. Well.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Misery
the
loves
Apple
company.
Arcade, $5 a month is really not a bad deal.
Right, and the first
wait till
month
you
free.
see the games. The games are so high quality. It's amazing.
Yeah, even if you look at something and it's on Apple Arcade, and you're like, oh, that looks dumb. You're like, but I fucking know I'm going to love it because it's a quality game.
Well, this is perfect
AAA,
because,
baby. Right?
I travel for work, so I'm in a work truck for sometimes 3 hours, so can't really play my Vita in there, so this is kind of perfect. So I'm definitely going to check some of these out.
You got to play what the golf. That is the game.
Oh yes,
to play.
get What the Golf.
What the golf.
What the golf?
You know,
it's best.
the
Don't
iPhone
even look at the
11s.
video. Don't even look at the video for it. Just download it and just start playing it. Don't even look at what it is.
Yep.
Just play it. It's so great.
The iPhone 11, because you just got the 11, right, Dan?
I did. Yep, I did.
I got the 11 Pro. You know, the extra like 4 or 5 hours of battery life was just for Apple Arcade. They
I
increased
believe
the
it.
battery life just for Apple Arcade.
I believe it.
That's what pros do on their phone. Apple Arcade.
Yep. I did find that before my Pro came in the mail, and I was using Apple Arcade on my regular 10S like a fucking peasant. It was killing my battery, and now I can actually make it through a whole day on my 11 Pro playing Grindstone on the toilet all day.
That just reminds me of playing Pokemon Go when I'd play for 2 hours and my battery would be dead.
Oh, dude, you
Chad
turn
somehow found a way to play Pokemon Go all day, every day, and still not drain his battery.
It's true. It's true. I've never had battery issues with Pokemon Go. I do turn on the battery mode, and most of the time I'm carrying it around upside down so the screen is off as well.
We would walk like 2 blocks from his apartment to Chipotle, and as soon as he left the door, Pokemon Go was out and playing.
Yep.
Do you do that anymore? Do you still play Pokemon Go?
Oh, yeah.
Playing...
They just released Gen 5, so
That's right.
of course.
That's right.
Can you catch them all?
Grindstone.
Can you catch them all? Or do they still have like the region-specific ones where you...
They still have region-specific ones. We're also in the middle of an event where you can hatch region-specific ones from 5K eggs, but you can still only hatch your region's ones, which is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's a turn off.
By week, how long I've played Grindstone. Let's see. Grindstone. Oh, but it only shows me the current week from Sunday to Sunday, so I only have it today. I played it for 59 minutes today. Damn, that game's good. 2 other things I played. Let's get out of play. Okay, sorry. 2 other things I played. Borderlands 3. This game, I finally returned to it, put a couple more hours into it, and I know you don't like it, Holden, but the humor, they just get me. They just get me. I'm smiling through most of the game, laughing occasionally, but yesterday, I came across, I've already told you this last night, and you did not find it funny, but I came across a guy in a tunnel, and he's just like calling. I was like, hey, somebody help me. You get up, and he's like, hey, whatever my mission objective was, I couldn't do it. I'm going to die, but I'm not going to die before it's carried out, so please go and do this for me. And then at the end of it, he's like, yep, I know I'm going to die. You can call me Goner. And I was like, oh, Goner, like you're a goner. You're going to die. And he's like, Goner my leggies. And then I was like, what? And I looked down, and he has no legs. And his name is Goner my leggies. And it's just so stupid. And I had to put the controller down and laugh until I cried at Goner Malegi. It's so funny. But he just says it so matter of fact. Yeah, you can call me Goner. Goner Malekis. It's so stupid.
It's the little things in life.
It's the little things. Oh, this game just gets me. It just gets me. Oh, God on my leggies. And then I played some more Beat Saber, and I had the realization last night. I've beat everything. I've platinumed the game. They still just keep releasing great shit. And I had the realization last night that like, if we were to have a discussion, we won't have the discussion right now, but if we were to have the discussion of what is the game of the generation of this, what is this, Gen 8 of consoles? What is the game of the generation? I think my vote would be for Beat Saber. Because it's just something that literally was impossible on PlayStation 3 generation. During PS3, if you would have asked me if something like that, like, could you see yourself playing this game? We're like, fuck no. There's no way you'd be able to play that within the PlayStation 4 time. No. It's amazing. It's accessible. It's simple, yet so fulfilling. It's difficult. It's amazing. That's it. That's all I have to say about Beat Saber.
Well, it sounds like they're pretty consistent with releasing more content for it.
They are. I feel like it's like every 6 weeks there's a new pack of like 6 or 7 songs.
That's really cool.
And a lot of it's free, too. They have 2, like, you could pay for the packs for the cat ones or the Imagine Dragons, but...
I'm absolutely terrified to play that game because I'm afraid I'm going to smack my child in the face. Because she loves to watch me play games, and I just... whack! Sorry, honey. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I do demos for Oculus sometimes, and... that is definitely a problem, is kids don't understand you don't stand right next to the person who's playing Beat Saber. And I had to be like, hey, buddy, you might want to take a few steps back. And like, lo and behold, a minute later, he's inched up, and he's like basically grabbing onto his dad's leg. I'm like, stop, back up. You're going to get hit. And they don't get it.
Yep.
So it's a concern.
Do you remember the boxing game on PS3 back in the day when the move first came out? I can't remember.
No.
There was some sort of, maybe, I'm pretty sure it was PlayStation, but I remember watching somebody play it, and they were always saying, like you said, don't, they have the tape off, or don't go in this area, don't, whatever. So it was at a Best Buy, and some kid, Her mom walked around the corner, and this lady just got slapped. I mean, slapped. And it was just in front of everybody, and she didn't see the tape or whatever reason, but she just come around the corner, and then she just got a face full of move. It was great.
Luckily, those things have the little rubber balls on the end, so hopefully it didn't hurt too bad.
No.
But do you guys remember Goner Maleki? Oh my god!
I love that. I need to play that game right now.
Oh, it's so good. Holden, you have 2 more games. Get us out of playtime. We've spent so long.
So I beat Link's Awakening, and then I said, with Link Between Worlds, I did the normal run, hero mode, and then I did 3-heart normal mode, 3-heart hero, 3-heart hero, no fairies. And I'm like, I want to do that again with Link's Awakening, but I don't have time. So I decided I'm going to compromise and just jump right to hero mode, no fairies. And I'm 6 dungeons in. I'm actually coming up to Eagle's Tower now, which is the boss I'm the most concerned about fighting in that way, because I got hit all the time by those dumb fucking feathers.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a real pain in the ass. But it's enjoyable. It's fine. But I had this realization while playing it. We said last week that this is the best 2D Zelda game.
Yep.
I now disagree.
Nope.
And the reason is this. There's no point in the overworld where I venture somewhere and feel like there's danger. All the enemies in the overworld are pretty easy.
Yep.
Whereas Link Between Worlds, if you go to like Death Mountain and stuff, there are some, enemies up there that are very, they can do some serious damage. They're harder to hit. And there's a fear and like a danger in exploring the world that doesn't exist in Link's Awakening. So I think Link's Awakening is a great Zelda game still. I'm not complaining about it, but Link Between Worlds still has the top dog for me.
No, it doesn't.
Still the top dog of the 2D Zelda games for me. So just wanted to throw that out there. But I'm enjoying the 3-heart run. It's a good run. Good times. But then I played Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, tell me about it. I want this.
I'll say this. If you want it, and I shouldn't tell you anything about it then, because the fun of this game is just going through it and enjoying it and figuring out your own, and the surprises of kind of the stupid shit you get involved with by being a goose.
Yeah.
It is awesome. It is so great. It is a little short, but I kind of liked it about that because I think it's
like,
a really good game. I think for me it was probably closer to 3 or 4, but I also was goofing around a lot.
Yeah.
It has a really clever ending. I'll just say that. They do something very clever that's I didn't expect, and you died laughing at
Goner Maleki's?
Goner Maleki's.
Yeah.
I died laughing at the final moment of this game. I just lost it. I thought it was the funniest fucking thing. But it's so enjoyable, and just to give you a tease, at least what some of these challenges you have to accomplish are. So you get to a new area, and you'll be like, okay, here's a to-do list of things you have to do in this area, and one of them is, there's a store, and it's make someone buy something they already own. It's little things like that. So it's a little puzzle of that's hilarious. I can't wait to see that happen, but how's it going to happen? And then you kind of figure out how to do it, and it's just really funny. It's not super difficult, I would say, because once you kind of know what you have to do, you're able to do it. There were a few points where I thought the controls could have been a little smoother. There's one point where I had to roll cabbage, and that was a little infuriating. But it's just super enjoyable. It's a great single-sitting game if you're willing to spend that long playing the game. It's fantastic. It's on sale right now, I believe, for $15 as opposed to $20. Get it at $15. I think it's a better value at $15, obviously. It's the better value at less money, but there's not a lot of content in the game. So get it for the cheaper price you can, and it's worth it. I don't know if it's a 9 out of 9 or 9 out of 10. Probably in that kind of 8 range, I'd say, but it's really enjoyable. I really liked it a lot. The animations in particular are fantastic and kind of add to the charm of the world. That's all I'm going to say about it. I think everyone should give it a chance, though.
You know how when the Switch came out and everyone's like, oh man, everything should be on the Switch? I was just thinking in my head, God, I really want that game to come to Apple Arcade.
Untitled Goose Game?
Yeah.
That would be a good Apple Arcade game.
Right? But I feel like
actually,
that's what everyone said
no.
about everything.
I'll tell you why. Well, I guess this applies to Apple Arcade because you have Apple TV. But It is a good game, I think, to play on the television with a few friends.
Oh,
and, like, kinda hand
you want
you
me
the
to play it
controller
on
back
the
and forth.
television?
Yeah, it's good to play on the television, I think.
I don't play my Switch on the television.
Then you should get a Switch Lite.
I will as soon as the right color comes out. Oh, man, I went to Best Buy today to pick up a couple more Amiibo because I'm also addicted. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go hands-on with the Switch Lite while I'm here. And there's just one little bullshit 8-year-old girl hogging that Switch Lite the whole time, playing something stupid on it. And I just, like, pretended. And I just walk around that area for, like, a good 8 minutes. Just, like, pretending to look at other shit while hoping this little girl would give up or her parents, like, finally come get her and learn that they love her.
See, it's a kid. You just pick it up and move it somewhere else and just start playing the Switch. Like,
It really
So
does.
I almost got hands-on.
It really does work like that. No, I definitely want to get a Switch Lite. I get so much crap from all my friends for not having one, and I finally say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a Switch," and I say Lite, and then they just make fun of me because I can't dock it. So whatever.
yeah, I don't know if I'd go. We'll talk about the Switch Lite in a second because we're gonna have some stories about that.
I just
Let's
bought
jump
Goose
into our
Game.
Fetch Quest log. Then we'll jump into the Nintendo Quest log, and we'll talk about Switch Lite. Just gonna run through Fetch Quests here. So first one here is Sony adds 7 new titles to PlayStation Hits lineup. That's gonna be Far Cry 4, God of War, Gran Turismo Sport, Rayman Legends, The Crew, not the sequel, Crew 2, Crew Harder, only The Crew.
Shut up.
Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and Watch Dogs.
This means
Further
that
news-
PlayStation Hits, they're $20, right?
Yeah.
$20 for God of War?
That's a
Yeah.
steal.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And
Also, I find it interesting. Aren't PlayStation Hits so far this generation mostly first-party titles?
I think it's kind of it's been a really big mixed bag because the last bunch that they had, I'm pretty sure, was it MK10 that was on there, or was it MK10 was on there
Oh,
for the last batch? But I mean, Horizon was on there too, so yeah.
yeah.
I mean, ultimately, there are games that have sold really well and don't need to make their money back anymore, so they can sell them for $20. That's ultimately what PlayStation Hits.
Is that Watch Dogs
Is-
1?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Apex Legends gets a new map called World's Edge for Season 3. There's also a new character as well. The Last of Us Remastered heads up to free... blah. The Last of Us Remastered heads up free PlayStation Plus games for October. Also going to have MLB The Show 2019. Woo.
Are you kidding me? I'll play
Don't
MLB
care.
The Show 19 for 2 games and then move on. We were just
Hype.
talking. If for some reason you have a PlayStation and you don't have The Last of Us Remastered, what are you doing with yourself? But second, we were just talking right before the show, like, when the hell am I going to have time to play? I have to play this again before February, but I have no idea when I'm going to have time to do it.
Gotta put that Beat Saber down a little bit.
But it's so good.
Can I say this about Beat Saber? So, Chad and I both have Apple Watches, and so I'll get a little notification whenever he does a workout. Like, Chad completed this workout. One of them was like high intensity interval training or whatever it was called.
Yep.
And it turns out that's Chad playing Beat Saber.
Yeah. Yeah. And you called me at 2:45 in the morning. You're like, what
I
are you
did,
doing?
yeah.
I was like, fucking go to bed. I'm playing Beat Saber.
I had some cool news to share with you.
That's awesome.
We had a good chat. Fable 4 reportedly gets Batman Arkham Knight scriptwriters on board. Caveat with the story, we also don't know if Fable 4 even exists. So just to be clear about that.
Has that not been announced?
Nope, has not been announced. It's a rumored game.
Oh.
And a rumored game, reportedly, meaning rumored, has gotten Batman Arkham Knight scriptwriters. So there's a lot of caveats there. But good for them.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, potentially.
Yeah. I mean,
Xbox
it wasn't the
streaming
scriptwriter's decision to put the tank in the game, so.
Xbox streaming service Project xCloud launches public beta next month.
Oh, I'm so jealous of Android users right now.
I have a Pixel 2 still. I might pull it out.
Did you sign up for the beta?
No, not yet.
Then you're not going to pull it out. If you were seriously thinking about it, you would have signed up for the beta, you idiot.
It's more I just don't want to use my Android phone. Google's
I don't
creepy.
want Google to know what Xbox games I'm playing.
Right?
That's
They could use
that's
that.
pretty cool,
They
though.
could use it against me one day.
If you have an Android device and you're testing this, you just get to play the new Gears 5, Halo 5, I think it's Forza and something else. Like, you just get those games. Similar to how you got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Origins, Odyssey for Google Stadia. Like,
Pretty
you're
nifty.
just betaing it and get it for free.
Moving on to the Nintendo Quest log, which is basically just talking about the Nintendo Switch launch sales, just the Lite sales, not the Switch. We're going to go talk about news from 2 years ago about how the Switch launched went.
Yeah.
Let me run through some of these numbers here, and then we'll discuss them.
You love numbers.
So, I love numbers. So, the Switch Lite had the second best hardware revision launch in Japan. This is from Grant Huff at DualShockers. In the first 3 days of sales, Switch Lite sold 177,936 units. Numbers. It beat out the Nintendo DSi at 171,000 units, but didn't beat out Nintendo 3DS XL at 187,000 units. But I wanted to offer some comparisons on that. This comes from at Game Data Library. They tweeted out a list of basically what do you call it? Like, I guess, like re-up consoles, like mid-generational consoles.
Hardware revision launches?
No, they had a term for it. I want to pull up that term. Oh, hurry up, Twitter. Launch of sales of additional system SKUs in Japan. That's how they phrased it.
Okay.
And so PSP Go in Japan did 28,000, so it did better than that. It did better than a PS4 Pro, which is at 65,000. It did better than the Xbox One S at 902, and better than the Xbox One X at 1,600. And the Game Boy Color did 155,000, and the new Nintendo 3DS XL launched at 164,000. So, like, it did pretty well in Japan. It wasn't like the launch of a brand new system, which is, I think, to be expected.
Right.
But then you look at Europe. This number is really not great. So the Switch Lite sold 13,500 units in the first week. So the numbers in Japan were the first 3 days. This is the first week. And so some comparisons. I had to, find these stories for myself. I couldn't get them for all the devices I want to search for. But to compare, Xbox One X sold 80,000 when it launched in its first week. PS4 Pro sold 50,000. So, like, significantly better than the Switch Lite did. The 3DS models, the new Nintendo 3DS models, those sold 160,000. I wouldn't expect the Switch Lite to do as well as the new 3DS, because the new 3DS at least had some new features to it, even though they were mild. This is more of you could argue it's a step back. I don't think it's really the purpose of the console, but that's another discussion. But I wouldn't expect it to be at 13,000. That's just really, really low. And then I couldn't find any sales data for the PSP Go, but they did cut the price of the PSP Go within a week of it launching, which is in the UK specifically, which is like crazy. So that probably didn't sell well either. But I really wanted to find the 2DS and see how the 2DS sold in comparison. I couldn't find data on that. But I think the new Nintendo 3DS X and the 3DS XL at 160 is a good enough ballpark to get an idea of where a additional SKU sale would end up. 13,000 is abysmal. The retailers aren't concerned because they think there's going to be a spike in the holidays and with Pokemon coming out. Are you guys surprised by this?
Not really. I think everybody who wants a Switch has one already. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, with Pokemon coming along, I really think that's going to do something to really push some numbers. But I think everybody who wants a Switch has one. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I think you're right. There's a lot of people who already had the system. It's been up for 2 years. It's selling like gangbusters. It's the best-selling console so many months this year already. So there's a lot of people who already have it. I do think it's typical that we see this of Japan being so high because they are a handheld-focused culture. Mm-hmm. And so, like, even the PlayStation 4, like you just noted the Pro up here, only sold 65,000 in its first week. Like, it's console gaming is going to be so much lower now going forward because everything's handheld over there. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't surprise me. And then you get to the UK. Half of me saying this is a joke, half of it is not. I mean, does Brexit have anything to do with this? I mean, this is UK numbers specifically, and I feel like Brexit has had so much impact on everything, and the dollar, not the dollar, but what do they use?
The pound. The pound, yep.
The pound, yeah.
Like, I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that this isn't selling either. But holidays are around the corner. I don't know if this is anything to be too concerned about.
I feel like retailers would be saying in response if it were Brexit. Obviously, that probably is a factor for some people, but I feel like they would have said, hey, we've been seeing drastic slowdown in people buying hardware like this. Instead, they said, well, it'll pick up again when Pokemon and the holidays come out, which means that they have hope that people do have that money to spend.
No.
So I don't know if Brexit's I feel like they would have just said that. It would have been an easy, like, Brexit caused it. It would have just been really easy for them to say
just
that.
directly point the finger at what the problem is.
Yeah. And I think you're right. Japan is definitely more mobile focused than Europe is. But then we look at the numbers here, and it has 160,000 for the new 3DS and 80 and 50,000 for the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. So that kind of flips it back, where there is a huge demand for handhelds, especially Nintendo handhelds. So I don't know. I'm just not really sure what to make of this. I don't have like this is the reason it's happening, but it's definitely strange.
Yeah. I mean, the
Definitely
handhelds that we
weird.
have here, like PSP Go didn't sell well, and it wasn't like there were no added features aside from being all digital and the slide up screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then new Nintendo 3DS did sell well, and I feel like that gained features like exclusive games and performance enhancements and the circle or the C button nub or whatever. So that might have been why that one sold better. I don't know. I'm not super surprised though.
That's a good point. But also PSP Go is more expensive than the PSP 3000 was.
Yeah.
Whereas this is less expensive than the Switch is. So if everyone's like, oh, Switch is nice, but I don't care about the TV, I don't want to spend $300 on it, I think there's a market for that.
Yeah.
I guess it's just not in the UK.
I start to see new Nintendo 3DS for some reason as like almost a new generation. I know Nintendo doesn't consider it that way, but I kind of consider the new Nintendo 3DS as a new generation of handheld. I don't know.
I would think the same thing.
I don't think they're doomed.
No, they're definitely not doomed, but it's interesting, to say the least. All right, you guys ready for Sony?
Yeah.
Before we get too hyped, we're going to talk about everything in the state of play first, and then we're going to do Last of Us after that.
Hot. That's hot.
So let's just run through the announcements really quick, and we'll just say if there's anyone that we liked or anything like that. LA Noire: The Case Files is announced for PSVR. It's available already.
That was
Humanity.
There wasn't a VR component to LA Noire on PC that was released with the remaster. Is this the same thing, or is this something new for PSVR?
I'm pretty sure it's the same thing.
Okay.
I think it is
the same
too.
exact name and everything. Humanity is a mysterious new game from the people behind Tetris Effect. That's coming out in 2020. Don't really know much about that game, but that will also be VR supported.
Ooh, I am interested in that, though. I don't know
It
quite
looks
what it is. Yeah, but, I loved Rez on PSVR.
Oh, man. Such a good game.
That's such a good game. Tetris Effect, if I liked Tetris, the experience of Tetris Effect, that demo, I was like, oh, man, I'm all in if I just didn't hate the game Tetris. So yeah, Humanity, it looks interesting. Like it's crowd control of people, and you're losing people and gaining people. It kind of reminded me. Dan, you might remember this. Do you remember The Last Guy? It was like one of the first digital only titles on PS3.
I do remember it a little bit. Yep, The Last Guy. Yep.
Like you're one guy, and there's a zombie infested, like playing on real world maps. There's like a zombie infested thing, and you're running, collecting people.
Oh
on the
yeah,
map.
yeah, yep.
And then you like have to get the whole crowd and not be interrupted by zombies, and then you get the whole crowd to safety.
Oh, I do kind of get a vibe from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know
cool.
what it is, but I'm interested.
Those are always the best though, when you don't know what the hell it is, and then it comes out and you're like, okay, this is good.
Yep.
I dig it.
Are we gonna say that about the next game, Watam, whatever it is? Do you guys remember this trailer?
I do remember this trailer, and I do remember saying, "Not for me."
Yep.
Yeah, it seems like it's a game about holding hands.
Yep.
Is that the main mechanic?
Something
of the
like
game?
that.
Yeah, interesting. That's out in December. Maybe we'll know more about it when people play it. I feel not. Sony acquires Arise, a simple story for this December. This game looked interesting to me. It's like the kind of the Journey kind of style game.
I just want to correct. You said Sony acquires, and Sony announces. Those are two very different things.
Right.
But yes, I think honestly, the subtitle of this game completely roped me in. Arise, a simple story. I'm like, oh, okay. This is going to be maybe even like a walking simulator type thing, but it's focused on story. It's going to be short, probably. It's going to be one of those indies that just like makes you feel. I'm like, okay, I'm in.
That's the one with the
right
Viking,
feels.
right? The dead Viking, like going to the other world. Is that the same one?
I honestly don't
I don't know
remember
if he was
anything
dead.
about it other than the title and being roped in by the title.
I remember like it was like a snowy mountainscape. He was kind of hiking along.
Yep, that's the one. Yep, that's it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. Death Stranding is getting its own PS4 Pro hardware.
It looks good.
It's getting hot in here.
I think the controller looks great.
I love the controller. My very first thought was, oh, I need that controller. No, stop buying controllers. And then I was like, oh, but also that hardware. That hardware. Like the handprints on it.
I'm a
and
huge
the
sucker
two-tone
for
and the black
those.
and white.
A huge sucker. I love anytime they come up with a Pro, a new. I buy it. I don't want to talk about it.
Do you have one of the 500 million?
Yes, I do. I have two of them.
Oh god.
Two of them? Wow,
My girlfriend
that's
got one and
impressive.
I got one, just to be safe.
I'm so jealous. I remember when we were
Chad tried
on the
really hard.
podcast live and they were all sold out, blah, blah, blah. And then I got the Wario 64 notification. Dell has them in stock. And then I got it. And then like 2 days later, Dell broke my heart and said, oh, we fucked up. You don't actually have one.
Oh, no. I feel for you.
yeah.
I really do.
Sorry, I got
I mean,
the
you have
controller.
two. You could just give one to Chad.
I could.
No, don't do that. Save it and sell it for $1 trillion. Pay for your kid's college.
No, seriously, I bet you could do that. Pay your entire child's education because of the 500 million series.
Unless somebody gets elected and we don't have to pay for education anymore. And that'd be great.
That is true.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That is true.
Civilization 6 comes to PS4 November 22nd. That's going to include all the DLC.
Is
Good
that
for
already
Civilization.
available on other is this the first console it's coming to? Civ 6?
It's on Switch.
I think this is the first time it's coming to a Sony console.
Oh, that's right. They made a big deal about that in the trailer. Like, for the first time ever on PlayStation with Sony, we're coming to PlayStation for the first time.
on PlayStation.
Yeah, we got that, Holden.
I just want to repeat it. I wasn't hyped, but other people might be hyped and wanted the excitement.
It's a cool game.
Medieval PS4 demo launches today at the PlayStation Store. It'll be available until October 7th, and then the full game release is October 25th.
The demo's only available to the 7th? I gotta download that right. I'm literally downloading it right now. I bought Untitled Goose Game while we were recording right now, and now I'm downloading this demo.
So, what are your thoughts on the state of play? Outside of the Last of Us stuff, we'll talk about that.
Just state of play as a whole, kind of how I'm feeling about it, the whole episode.
I mean, this specific episode, or just even the concept of state of play, how are we liking them so far?
I like state of play, but I think they need to take a different approach to it. I think it would be. I think what they should do is maybe kind of do the same thing that the Inside Xbox does and have somebody talking, live type of thing. I think that would be more give a little bit of a flavor to it. I think it's kind of just too bland. Like, and here's our next game, and here's what's in PS Plus. It's just, I feel like if you have somebody just, like live reactions, I think that would be cooler. I think that's something that would probably bring in more people. That's kind of...
At the very least, I think you're right. Like, even Nintendo Directs, they have
Exactly.
a person between each thing, kind of giving context, making a joke, doing something. I think you're right. They need some kind of human visual.
interaction.
Yeah, interaction.
It didn't bother me. I actually kind of liked it. It just went from trailer to trailer to trailer. I don't know.
This was the
Just me.
better one of the three they've had so far. I will definitely say that.
Yes. Definitely because of the stuff we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
That is a big part of it.
Although,
But
like-
every announcement, I'm like, okay, I can see why they took time to talk about that. There was no announcement where I'm like, okay, why? There's no Wonder Book. We'll put it that way.
Right.
Right. If you think about, though, the first one didn't... I mean, they announced a bunch of PSVR stuff, which was really cool, and they announced Iron Man VR, which didn't show well, but turned out to be apparently a really great demo.
Right. Yep.
I don't know if it was a bad one.
I've heard some positive things about that, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed on it.
Yeah. And apparently there's news about it coming from Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, something in like the next week or two. They're announcing more stuff about Iron Man VR, which I'm pumped for.
Sign me up.
I feel like state of plays are kind of going to be seen in a, I don't mean negative light, but not necessarily, like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of hype for them until we start hearing PS5 stuff in a state of play.
Yeah.
I think when State of Play was announced, it was like, oh, so this is how they're going to talk about PS5? I can't wait for the next State of Play. They're going to talk about PS5. And they're not going to do that till next year. But I think people anticipate it. And I think it kind of has made State of Play a little bit of a letdown not because the content's bad, but just people really want to know about PS5. So I think until then,
there was a lot of people. If you watched like the little trailer that they had for it, at the very end of it, you seen 5 little people running to the whole group of people. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that. So at the very end of the trailer, there was just 5 little stragglers running up to the rest of the people, and everyone's like, no. PS5. But nothing at all.
Oh my God, Shuhei Yoshida, I just messed up completely. He breathed PS5.
He took 5 breaths the entire time. No, I didn't notice that. I think part of it just has to, like, this is the third one, 3 of them.
Yep.
Part of it is just us as an audience understanding and getting used to what it is that State of Play means and what it is.
Wait a second, there were 3 of them? Which means before this
The
one,
PS3
there were 2.
is getting announced.
And then 2. No. This is the third one, but before this one, there was 2. 2 plus 3
times
is 5.
1.
PS5. Whoa. We figured it out, you guys.
It's the Illuminati.
All right, so let's talk about what we really want to talk about.
I can't find this damn demo for the life of me. I'm giving up. Okay.
So, the biggest reveal, undeniably, at State of Play, outside of Civilization 6, was
Coming to
The Last of Us
PlayStation
Part
for the
2.
first time.
So Last of Us Part 2, we got a just juicy trailer. It was great.
Oh, it was so good.
And then we got a release date. Which, I want to put out something really funny about the release date. The leaked release date was February 22nd. And it was like, no, that's not the release date. It's a single day before.
Was there? I didn't realize there was an actual date leaked for the release date.
Yeah, there was a date that was leaked, and it was the 22nd.
I knew there was like
some retailer came out and was like, no, that's a placeholder date. That's not the real date. Psych, it basically is.
Right.
It was off by 1 error.
I remember one of the voice actors or something like that. They were being interviewed, and they're like, "When's it coming out?" And I'm like, "Oh, I think somewhere like Feb," and then they cut him off.
Yeah,
that's what
so,
I was
like,
going to bring up.
Yeah, I knew. So February, I knew, but I didn't realize somebody had leaked an actual like day.
It was like a retailer leak kind of thing.
Probably Walmart Canada.
I was going to say, or Amazon Spain.
Yep.
Bastards.
You
So-
bastards.
What'd you guys think of the trailer?
Sucked. Will not buy.
Will not buy.
It looks phenomenal. I think it's everything you would expect from Naughty Dog and more. I mean, I think there is nobody in the business that can do what Naughty Dog does. They've never had a game that's disappointed me, they've always been well. And I think out of everything that's coming out, this is the one game that I just cannot wait to play. And I don't even want to see anything more about it because I don't want anything to be ruined. I don't want nothing.
Yep.
That's kind of where I'm sitting with it.
I almost didn't watch the trailer for that exact reason. Like, I just want to play it. I don't need to see anything else. I know I'm going to play it. You won't convince me to buy Last of Us Part 2. You already convinced me by announcing that it exists.
Yep. The release date is what I need, and the rest is just fucking let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm so pumped. I think everything we've seen a little bit of story stuff, very little bit of story stuff. Dan, I don't remember whether this was on air or the pre-show or whatever it was when you mentioned the one with them killing the pregnant woman, stabbing her in the belly, and from 2 years ago, E3, I think there was. And then we've had the original reveal trailer with her just playing the guitar, and this was nice. Yeah, this was nice to actually have like some story semblance of what's going to be going on in the context for what we're doing in this, figuring out spoilers if you don't want to know anything. Although you should stop listening to this right now if you don't want to know anything. That we're figuring out it's because we assumed they killed her girlfriend.
Yep.
And not only did they share the best kiss ever done in a video game that we saw last year at E3, but we also saw that so far it looks like she's going to be a real character. It's not going to be, granted, Joel's daughter from the first one. We know almost nothing about her. We play as her for 10 minutes and then she dies. Granted, the game's not about her, but oftentimes in video games you might have like, oh my god, so and so died and that's my whole reason for fighting and living and blah blah blah, but like we don't really have it. No, this looks like she's gonna be fully fleshed out. She's gonna have a backstory and we're gonna care about her, and then her death is gonna mean something.
Exactly.
And I'm so pumped.
It's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be insane. And I heard, I don't know the truth to this, but I had read an article, I can't remember if it was from IGN or Push Square somewhere, that game was being ran on a regular old Slim.
Oh, shut up! Is it that good on a Slim?
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look, but that I read it somewhere.
That's amazing.
Which, if that's true, when it gets on a Pro, it's gonna blow my fucking mind. I don't know.
Yeah, a game's got to a point where they look so damn good. I keep thinking, yeah, I just can't be impressed by how good a game looks. And then you're like, oh my god, but the animations, the lighting, like everything that's just like the facial expressions, it looks just incredible. Everything about it looks incredible.
I just like
clickers too. This is the first time I've seen a clicker.
Oh, that clicker looked good.
Terrifying. Yeah, terrifying.
Well, the fact they revamped everything. They revamped the combat, engine, just everything about it is. It's almost like we're getting more Last of Us, but it's almost like they took everything from the first game, the mechanics and everything, and just obviously created a new game, but just went times 10 with it, and it's. I have no words. The excitement is just flowing from me that I can't even. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, my head level is really, really high right now, and hearing the impressions of people who have played the game and just said, like, guys, you have no idea.
Oh god, yeah.
It's amazing. Like, I've yet to hear anyone say other than it's gonna be perfect, it's everything that we want it to be. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited.
Look at those goosebumps. Look at that hair. I feel like my spider sense is going off.
And then they showed off some of the collector's editions. I don't know if you guys seen those.
Yes.
They have the Ellie edition with the backpack, because I'm going to definitely wear that in public.
Did you finally I saw that you didn't get an Ellie edition, but did you finally get one?
No, not yet.
Damn it.
I'm going to work extra hard. I'll take a couple days off of work if I have to. and we're going to get a Pro bundle. That's obvious. I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen, and it can't come soon enough. February.
Yeah. 2 more pieces of information that are new about it, too. We know there's no multiplayer, which doesn't bother me in the slightest. I don't care. Some people are really upset about that, which I think is surprising, because I don't know, it's a single-player game as far as I'm concerned, but that's just how I play it, at least. The other is that it's going to be on 2 discs.
Yeah.
That's bananas. That's going to be a long game.
And that's super cool, because Neil did come out and say that it was their most ambitious game they've ever done, which I would imagine why they pulled, if they had a team at one point working on multiplayer, they're like, okay, this is a lot bigger than we thought, so we need all hands on deck. And he even said you might see multiplayer in another game or something in the future, so who knows, but if the game is as big as they're saying it is, and you need everyone, all hands on deck, for sure.
Is this the first... we've seen games that come out and then you have to download a 100 gigabyte patch, but is this the first time that we've seen a multi-disc game this generation?
Red Dead Redemption 2, I think, had 2 discs.
Yep, Red Dead had 2 discs as well. There are very few far and in between, but the ones that are, they're pretty meaty games, so that's going to be super cool. You're going to get what you pay for. $60 for a game, and you're going to get 2 discs. I mean...
Well,
it gets me excited, because I trust that Naughty Dog's not going to just it's 2 discs and man, it's really boring and stretched out.
Right, there's so much fluff.
So much fluff. I feel like it's this story is going to be even meatier than the first game, and the first game already had one of the best stories in video games. What's the scope of this story? I'm just so excited. I cannot wait. Can't wait. Dude, early 2020 is going to be insane with Final Fantasy VII Remake, Last of Us Part 2, and Cyberpunk, and Monsters and Gods.
I mean, that's
pee in my own eyes. I'm so excited.
And I still find myself finding time to play all these games with everything that goes on. I'm going to play them all, so every single one of them.
You are a superhero. I found that the last 4 weekends have just been me sitting down playing on Saturdays, just nonstop from like 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. playing video games, and I feel like a disgusting pot of chili afterwards. But oh man, it's so fulfilling.
A pot of chili.
I just feel like this gross amalgamation of slop and beans and meat. Like sometimes I don't even brush my teeth. That's the kind of days it is. It's so good.
Well, when The Last of Us comes out, you're going to be doing that all over again.
I already requested the day off. Yep. Yep. And that's like the weekend. No, 2 weeks after I visit Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
Oh, God. I would have canceled the Rhode Island trip.
I wouldn't have held it against you.
I would have brought my PS4 and we would have played side by side, and we would have to play exactly at the same time, make all the same choices at the same time.
That's a good way to play it. That'd be super cool.
Get 2 TVs. We'd have to buy a TV here.
Yeah, just buy from Best Buy, return
TV.
it.
Yeah. Get it on Super Bowl sales.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Any more thoughts on The Last of Us Part 2?
Nope. I'm done with trailers. I don't need to see any more.
I think it speaks for itself.
Someone pointed out something to me. Shout out to Zach, who I work with. He noticed in the trailer, Ellie is wearing a gas mask. Why would she wear a gas mask? She's immune.
Somebody farted.
The people in the town might not know that she's infected. She doesn't want them to know. So she might be living kind of an incognito lifestyle.
Oh, she absolutely is. Because there are people who haven't played who listen to this. Who was it, Matt? Somebody on Twitter was like, I haven't played this, and it's like, you got to get your shit together. But I mean,
well, they're not relevant if they
part of the
haven't
first
played it,
one
so it
is
doesn't
like,
matter anyway.
If they knew that she was immune, then she would become a guinea pig. So obviously, like she would die because of it. So
there are elements to this where you have to spoil the ending to really, deep dive.
So
into that
of course she would want to hide that fact of herself, or she's also fighting against a bunch of human people too this time around. And maybe they use like gas grenades and shit.
But consider what. All right, just stop listening for 30 seconds.
Now let's not spoil it because people are gonna be playing it for the first time. It's free on PS Plus.
Okay, because I want to contend that fact because I don't agree with you, but we'll see. We'll see when it comes out.
We'll see.
February 21st.
It's free, so there's absolutely no reason why somebody hasn't played it.
Yeah,
free. You can't get much better than that.
Unless you're dead. If you're dead, that's the only excuse.
No, that's not even good enough.
You're right. You can come back as a clicker.
Yeah, and then play it as a clicker.
Done.
Clickers
are so terrifying.
I've been watching this show, and it's called The Strain on FX. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
I think I've watched the first episode or two of that. It's like vampires and shit.
Yeah, it's super, super kind of cheesy, but it just made me think about The Last of Us, and just like if we could get like a live adaptation, how cool would that be?
Isn't there already a movie in the works?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't Maisie Williams?
Maisie Williams?
Maisie Williams, whatever.
Oh, Maylise. That's not a name. Maisie, that's a name.
Maisie. I don't
That's
know.
the Game of Thrones chick, right?
She was in, yeah.
Okay.
Arya Stark.
Yep.
I think she was in talk for it at one point.
To play Joel, right?
Yeah, to play Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. It's going to be good. Mark the calendars.
So good. All right, let's wrap up this episode with Game on Game Show. The Game on Game Show, we play a game. What?
Ryan, subscriber Interrogatives.
Oh, fuck, that's right. We have
Hill,
one.
Dustin Energizer Hill wrote
Energizer Bunny Hill.
What video game universe would have the best Jackass-like show?
I'm going to throw something out there from the early days of PlayStation 3. I think this came free with every PS3. You remember the game Pain?
Yep.
Nope.
Oh, of course you would.
I do. Is that the one where you'd like launch yourself and you'd fly into buildings and then?
Yep. And you usually like get different accomplishments like shoot yourself out of the slingshot and hit the donut on top of this building and like, yeah, I think that would obviously be a good. It is Jackass the game, so I think that would be a really great Jackass show as well.
Oh.
So I think I'm looking at it differently. I'm looking at it as the world of that video game has TV shows, TV networks, and one of those TV networks has a Jackass show. What would Jackass look like in Hyrule? where Steve-O and Johnny Knox are going over like,
Whoa.
I'm going to keep cutting that chicken until a bunch of chickens start attacking me. And that's the episode of Jackass.
Whoa. You went deep with that.
I think that's what he's asking, though. What video game universe would have the best Jackass-like show? It's like Grand Theft Auto, I think, would have the best one just because they would have the most ridiculously absurd version of Jackass ever.
Here we go. Borderlands.
All right.
Borderlands.
Oh, that's a good one.
There's already like the quest where the guy in Borderlands 2 is just like, oh, shoot me in the face, shoot me in the face. And you go up to him and he's like, yeah, shoot me in the face. And you shoot him in the face and his head explodes and you won the mission. And then there's also like, there's a point where there's a guy like on a giant wheel and people are throwing knives at him. And like, yeah, that's Jackass right there. All the psychos.
Oh, yeah,
Done.
yeah.
There we
What about
go.
like Rage? Rage. I mean,
Yeah.
that I immediately think that because it's over the top and everything's happening. So I mean,
Yeah.
It'd be one of the reality shows they
yeah,
have. Yeah,
exactly. That's a good question.
Rage 2. You guys remember that came out this year?
Yeah,
I don't.
It was okay.
It's insane. Insane. Well,
Wait,
thank you, Dustin Energizer Bunny Hill. If you guys want to submit questions to the show, at RespawnAimFire on Twitter and everything else that we don't check. And then we also have an email, RespawnAimFire@gmail.com. I literally the other day, like Instagram emailed us and said, hey, you have a message from somebody. And I went and it was just me tagging us in a story like 3 months ago. Like, oh, we never check this. Now we're actually moving on to Game On Game Show. The Game On Gaming Show, where we play a game called Game On. The Game Show, game. This week, we have another Now Flesh It Out, where we take two games, mash them together, figure out what they would be. This one, again, in honor of Mr. SonyPony, we have 5 sets of PlayStation-related games. We're going to figure out what their mashups look like. Let's start with Crash Bandicoot, crossed with The Last of Us. What does that game look like?
Well, what's the base game? Is it a platformer where you're avoiding clickers? Or is Crash worried that is scarred because his daughter died, and now he has to escort Ellie, just like Ellie really is, across the country, and he just bop on zombies' heads and stuff when you...
And you're running at the screen the whole time.
Yeah.
Or clickers are like it's not it's a disease that turns like bandicoots rabid, but they're all Crash Bandicoots and they're human sized and so it's just like zombie bandicoots that you're having to stealthily take out and shit like that too.
That would be fun.
And they're cartoony looking too, so you just totally clashes
Yeah,
with your style.
completely
The
brings
rest
you
of
out
the
of the
game.
world.
Now, do you make it violent though?
Oh, it's got to be hella violent. You got to like dismember them and they like blow up into a trillion pieces and brains everywhere.
I love it.
And then the
likely to
girl
happen.
bandicoot, you got to do the same thing to her. She fucking explodes, brains everywhere. Can't be sexist. Although, what if there was The Last of Us, like just running at the screen kind of thing? You're just like running from clickers and shit. It's an endless runner. Apple Arcade, done.
It's a mobile tie-in game for The Last of Us Part 2.
Yep.
We didn't do multiplayer, but we have something even better for you.
That'd be a day one buy.
Yep.
Oh, I suppose if it's Apple Arcade, then you can just play it.
There you go. Day one download.
You're onto something here.
Number 2, God of War and Uncharted.
I like it. What would that be?
My first thought was there's always at the end of Uncharted games like the like not extraterrestrial, what's the word I'm looking for? Like mythical, like there's always a large supernatural. That's the word I'm looking for. There's always a supernatural element at the end of an Uncharted game. What if it is that like somehow you get transported to ancient Greece or to wherever the fuck the Norse one takes place? I can't remember. What if you get transported there and you're like fighting Valkyries and shit like that as Nathan Drake and you're just shooting all of this shit?
Like cover shooter shooting at Valkyries.
Yep.
She would probably still beat our asses. The Valkyrie Queen.
You could also... Sorry.
No, I was gonna say the Valkyrie Queen would still just beat everyone's asses, even though you
that
can
Valkyrie Queen.
you can hide and like, oh yeah, I got some time, and she just comes around the corner and fucks your day up.
So 2 ideas here. 1, you could have like Uncharted like platforming segments where like Kratos is climbing on walls and stuff. You can like blend them together that way.
Oh,
wait, they already did all that. No, but in all seriousness, just have Nathan Drake with the Blades of Chaos, and that's his only weapon.
Oh, that'd be fun as shit, though.
Right?
Right?
No, I agree.
So someone's like hiding behind cover, and you just literally just like throw that chain around the corner and kill the guy.
Or just you'd have something weird like Atreus. Ah, man, how would you even do that? Just Atreus running around with guns. That would work.
Yes. I'm just throwing grenades and shit.
Son.
Or
Boy, what are you doing?
just take God of War, and it's not his relationship with his son, Atreus. It's his relationship with an old friend, Sully, and they're just traveling around together. It's just Sully and Kratos having like banter like him and Nathan Drake.
Perfect.
These are good crossovers. I want to play them.
I want to see fan art of all of this. Next up, Infamous and Days Gone.
That would have to.
I think they made that game. Isn't it basically kind of like a what is it? What's the name of the game? I'm drawing a blank on it. Let me look up the name of this game. You guys keep going.
I hadn't thought of this before. I just read it out loud right now, but then I was like, oh, Infamous Festival of Blood is maybe kind of what that would look like.
Oh man, I forgot about that game.
Yeah.
That was a nice little just kind of in between Infamous and Infamous 2.
Yep, little Halloween tie-in.
That would be cool. I think that one would have to play like Days Gone, or no, sorry, like Infamous, but with the Days Gone world, and just run around and just think of like fighting a horde and just send a lightning bolt and then they just all just die.
Oh shit! I want that. I want to fight a horde with lightning powers.
Or
okay, it's basically Dying Light with superhero powers.
Oh yeah, okay. That would make Dying Light better.
All
right.
I like it.
2 more. I'm about to pee into everyone's pants that's ever existed. So we're gonna get through these. Ratchet and Clank and Death Stranding.
We don't even know what Death Stranding is yet, so. So just Ratchet and Clank with baby shaking. That's it.
Just have Ratchet in the like be a bridge baby. It's just Ratchet, and so he's just walking around with Ratchet in his little like purse thing, just tapping on the inside there.
Wasn't there a gun that like turns things into sheep?
It turns them into babies instead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you're just Norman Reedus walking around and you're turning invisible BTs into sheep and shit, and then smacking them with a briefcase.
And then putting ladders up. You're still just putting ladders up.
Yep. Sheep and ladders. All right, last one. Last Guardian and Metal Gear Solid.
You have to. It's Metal Gear Solid, but you got to be that giant bird thing and still sneak around the same exact levels.
With just a little tiny box on your head.
Yes.
Did you hear that? No. Move on.
As long as my giant bird is not in the cone of their vision.
Oh, I love it. It's awesome.
Yep. I'm down with that. All right. We have to wrap the show up or else I'm going to die. That's Game On Game Show. That's our show. Reminders, patreon.com/respawn-aimfire. $1. Vote on Barf. We're playing Metal Gear Solid. Also get you cool wallpapers. We just released them this week. We've already got next month's done, and they're dope. And
it's really dope. I love next month's. Just saying. Love next month's. It's awesome.
Yes, it's great. It's great. Thank you, Dan, so much for being on this show.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so glad we finally had an excuse to get you on here.
I was nervous, but I had fun. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a great time. Where can people find you if they would like to follow you, connect with you, play games with you, whatever you want to do?
Pretty much the best way to get a hold of me is on Twitter. I'm Sergeant Daniels. You can find me, the Sony It's very obvious who I am. I don't hide it.
Yep.
And that's the best place. I'll play anything with anyone. I just love interacting with everyone. So.
God, I love it. There should be more people like you in this planet. in the planet, at the core, melting. Sorry. I took that and ran with it. Use the right preposition the first time. You don't have to worry about making awful jokes. All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Until next time, here's our usual sign-off. I'm going to die. I'll be right back.